Welcome. I am Nancy Cheney, Reading Specialist and Coach at Epic Charter Schools. Today we are going to be working from the Oklahoma Academic Standards for 3rd grade. We are going to look at English Language Arts Standard 3.4.R.2. It states, students will use word parts, affixes, roots, and stems to define and determine the meaning of new words. An affix is a letter or group of letters added to the beginning or ending of a word to modify its meaning. Prefix. A prefix is an affix, letter or group of letters with a specific meaning placed at the beginning of a word to change or modify the word's meaning. It adds one or more syllables to the word. Here are some examples of prefixes that we're going to look at today. The first one is non. This means not. When you add non to fat, you get non-fat, which means not fat. The next one is mid. Mid means middle, in the middle. If you add mid to field, we get the word mid-field, which means we're in the middle of the field. We have the prefix un, which means not also. If you add it to fair, we have unfair. This means something was not fair. If you look at these three prefixes, non, mid, and un, you will see that they would be syllables that would be called closed syllables. Each one ends with a consonant, and has a short vowel. So these would be closed syllables. Continuing on, we have the prefix pre, which means before. Put with test, we get pre-test. So it's work you do before a test. Over, which means too much. If you put over with cooked, you get overcooked. Cooked too much. Also the prefix re, which means again. With write, you get rewrite. It means to write again. Now, if we look at these three prefixes, you will see that two of them end in a vowel and one in a consonant. Pre and re end in a vowel, which is a long vowel sound, and these would be considered open syllables. Over, which ends in a consonant, is a closed syllable. But if you look at it carefully, over is actually two syllables. The O is an open syllable. The ver, ver, is a closed syllable, the second syllable. It will add two syllables to any word you put it on. In the following slides, we are going to add a prefix to the root words to make a new word that will make sense in the context of the sentence. First, we have fair. The sentence says, there were more players on the other team making the game. We're going to fair? No, we need to add a prefix. Let's see. Would we add non, pre, or un? If we think the game was not fair, then we would need to add unfair. There were more players on the other team making the game unfair. Now we have the root word test. Let's look at the sentence. Josh wanted to see what he knew about prefixes, so he took he wouldn't take a test, would he? Let's look at the prefixes. We could use none, pre, or re. Now he wants to do this before to see what he knows about prefixes. So before would be pre-test. Josh wanted to see what he knew about prefixes, so he took a pre-test. Now we have the word field. Let's look at the sentence. The boys had a race at blank field on the soccer field. Where would it be? Let's see. Refield, overfield, midfield. Maybe at the middle of the field. So let's look at mid. midfield. See how it fits in the sentence. The boys had a race at midfield on the soccer field. In the middle of the field. Good, that makes sense. Now we have the word right. Adam didn't like how his report looked, so he decided to blank write it. Let's look. Would he rewrite it, unwrite it, or pre-write it? He's going to want to do it again. Which one means to do it again? Re means to do it again. Let's try that in the sentence. Adam didn't like how his report looked, so he decided to rewrite it. Now we have the root word cooked. Let's look at the sentence. The meat was tough because the boys blank cooked it. Did they? Let's try the prefixes. Mid-cooked it, non-cooked it, overcooked it. If they overcooked it, that would make it tough, wouldn't it? So let's try over. Overcooked. The meat was tough because the boys overcooked it. That makes sense in our sentence. Let's go to our last one that we're working on today. We have the root word fat. Mother decided to buy blank fat milk at the market. We don't think she wanted to buy fat milk. Let's see what kind of milk. Non-fat, unfat, or over-fat. If she didn't want fat in her milk, she would choose non-fat milk. Let's try it in the sentence. Mother decided to buy non-fat milk at the market. This has been an introduction of a few of the prefixes that you will need to know. There are many more prefixes to learn and use. Have fun looking at new prefixes.